Let me tell you a truth. Most men quit carnivore in the first 2 weeks. Not because it doesn't work, but because they don't understand what's happening. If you're getting ready to get started with my Carnivore Challenge Reset, or if you're already in week 1 or you're in week 2 and you feel worse rather than better, that doesn't mean the diet failed. It doesn't mean the diet's not working. Usually what that means is you're underfueling your body, you're undersalting your food. It's simply a matter of you're not eating enough and not getting enough salt. Salt is very important. When you remove the carbs, your insulin levels drop. When your insulin levels drop, it signals your kidneys to stop holding on to sodium. So every time you go to the restroom, you're losing sodium. When you lose enough sodium, the volume of your blood is going to drop a little bit. And when the volume of your blood drops, that's when you start getting fatigue and you feel tired. You'll start getting dizzy, especially when you stand up. You'll start having headaches, brain fog, other things like this. It doesn't mean the diet's not working. It's just a simple mistake that you make. The other mistake I see men make, and I made myself my first 2 weeks on this diet, is not eating enough food. There's a reason why I say you need to stick to beef the first 2 weeks. Beef has a higher fat content, and that's what you need to fuel your body. So many of us make the mistake of trying to eat chicken or pork or fish on the first 30 days of carnivore diet. Those meats don't have enough calories and don't have enough fat to properly fuel your body. And we do it because we're still thinking, like we've been raised, that low fat is the way to go, lower calories is better for us, and that's not what happens on the carnivore diet. To make this work and make yourself feel great, you really need to have the higher fat beef and make sure you get plenty of salt. You need the fatty beef. You need the butter. You need the salt. And when I say salt, I mean a lot of salt. Here's how I figured this out, how much salt I need to eat. I salt my beef and I look at my wife. When my wife looks at me and says, "Oh my goodness, Brandon, that's way too much salt," then I know I've got enough salt. I'm kind of just joking, but she does do that because I put a lot of salt on my meat and I still eat all of it because I know what happens when I don't get enough salt. I'll start getting my headaches. I'll start getting dizzy. Even now, over a year into eating mostly carnivore, when I start getting headaches and I start getting dizziness, I add more salt. I put a pinch of salt in my water, and usually within 30 minutes to a couple hours after I up my salt, the headaches and the dizziness, they go away. In addition to the beef and salt, you really also need electrolytes your first week. Now you could take magnesium and potassium pills, but I find it much easier to get an electrolyte drink. Have one good electrolyte drink in the morning to start your day with it, and that'll give you pretty much all the potassium and magnesium that you need. Heavily salt your food through the day, should provide the rest of the sodium that you need. If you find yourself doing that and still having some headaches and dizziness, start adding a little pinch of salt to your water when you're drinking it, or have a second electrolyte drink, and that'll usually resolve everything away. But remember, when you're on carnivore, week 1, even week 2, it's not for optimization of the diet. It's not to try hacks. It's not to try tricks. This is the time when you need to shoot for stabilization. What you're looking for is to stabilize your diet, get used to the hunger signals, figure out how much meat you need to be eating each day, figure out how much fat you need to have each day. This is part of the problem of figuring out what you're trying to do is figure out what your body needs to make the switch over to becoming a fat burner, not a carbohydrate burner. And I don't want you guys to quit when you're going through this phase. Each of you watching this are perfectly capable of making it through the first 30 days on carnivore. Take my advice, eat a lot of beef, make sure there's plenty of fat, add butter to everything, add salt to everything, get an electrolyte drink, and you will get through these first 2 weeks with nowhere near the issues and the pain and the suffering that I went through my first 2 weeks. Take it from me. I've been there. I've walked this road. I'm doing my best to help you guys start this diet and not feel horrible the first 2 weeks. All the information you need to follow this reset the way I do it and the way I recommend it is in my other videos. Watch them. If you want something a little more concrete, you can put in your hand. I'll put a link down below to a PDF of my Carnivore Reset. It'll walk you through everything you need to do. It's not very long. It's only a couple pages. but it'll tell you exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it, so you can get through this first 30 days with ease. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, brothers, stay strong.